believe it's October 28th, Monday morning. Nice and cold this morning. It's probably 34 degrees out right now. No wind, just dead calm, bluebird skies. Report is that they are starting to chase some does around, so hopefully, a doe gets bumped my way or a big buck. I'm kind of willing to shoot either or right now because I got 2 doe tags in my pocket, so I haven't got one on the ground yet. So if we have opportunity to fill a tag, we're gonna take it. Same spot as we were before in that 25-acre plot right on the edge of the CRP field, just tucked into the woods. There's a trail that parallels the CRP field this way, just inside the timber, so hopefully something uses this to cruise around, maybe scent check the CRP field and go from there. Sit tight. Enjoy the beautiful, chilly morning. Well, we just had a little spike come through. He actually came across down the ravine and back up this way. It looked like he was gonna walk right towards me, but as you probably heard in the video, River is in some trouble. It's the only thing that kind of sucks about hunting these tiny little parcels like this, and especially being close to houses, is there's so many other factors that come into play, like homeboy yelling at River. It was just a spike. I wasn't gonna shoot him anyways. Can't. So, not that big of a deal. But if that was a doe or a good buck, that'd have been really frustrating. Saw a deer. Not gonna get skunked today. Sun's just starting to really come up now, so I'll be interested to see what the thermals are gonna do. I'm sure they're gonna start pulling up, but as of right now, they're gonna still dump it down. I'm surprised that deer actually didn't win me, because my thermals are dumping right where he came up at, so. Well, I'm not exactly sure what just happened there. I saw some brush moving over that way. And out of the CRP field comes a doe. And she's acting like she's being chased, and I thought I heard some grunts like 5 minutes earlier out in the CRP field. So she came in, basically followed the edge of the CRP field back towards me. And they got this real thick stuff. And I went and grabbed my bow and I was focused on her. But I'm pretty sure a buck came out of that CRP field right after her, but then must have lost their tracks or something, because then pretty sure he went down in the ravine, even though I never saw him. And then after she came, and I think she went back up through the CRP, I thought I heard another grunt down in the ravine. It's like 10:30, almost 11 o'clock. I was gonna get down at 11, but I think I'm just gonna wait a little bit longer, probably get down at 11:30, just in case something else crazy happens. 40, 50 minutes, we're gonna set up in the tree, and then climb down, go get some lunch, and then get right back out here. Well, it's 11:22, and I think I'm gonna try and get out of the tree without getting busted. I just saw, I don't think he was very big, but nonetheless, probably a basket rack at 8, basically go out the same way that I was gonna walk out of the woods. I think with that, I'm gonna change up how I leave. I think I'm gonna go over this way, hit the edge of the CRP field where it turns into the owner's yard basically. And that way I completely avoid that area, and hopefully I don't bust that buck out of there. So I'm basically just gonna go out and around this whole ravine back over to my truck. I'm not exactly sure where I'm gonna sit tonight. I don't know if I'm gonna sit in the ladder stand in the back of the field, or if I'm gonna tear down my sticks and basically move like 40 to 50 yards further that way. I think either way I'll see deer. It's just a matter of which one's gonna put me in the position to actually get a shot at one. Well, I'll see you guys in the afternoon. Well, we're diving in for the morning hunt, or the evening hunt, and it's about 3:30 right now. I'm a little late. Got caught up at the house, eating some food, but we're gonna dive in here quick. We're gonna go to the pre-hung ladder stand that's at the back of the CRP field. So hopefully we can get one to walk past us. Had some good action this morning. Had a buck come in across the ravine. I had a doe coming about 20 yards that I believe was being chased by a buck. And then we had a spike come in on us. So right now I'm looking at the neighbor dogs just barking at me. So hopefully we can dive in these woods without getting chased by a dog and get a deer on the ground. Well, we just got set up in the stand. Let's see what time it is. 4:14. It's hot. The winds are light and variable. So I'm hoping this evening, when it cools off, all my thermals are just dumping off the hill because the wind's so light. Well, did I mention it's hot? For it being late October, it's probably about 70 degrees right now. I mean, all I got is a thin layer on my base layer. And to be honest with you, I shouldn't even wear a base layer. I'm sweating right now. I got my vents open on my bands. Got the face paint on because it's so hot, so I won't have a mask on. Let's settle in, and hopefully a big one walks by. I saw a fresh rub walking in. So, they're in here. It's just a matter of getting them to walk by, that's all. Well, I'm not sure. I don't know if that was a good hit or not. It was literally right at the base of my stand. Basically straight down shot. I aimed for just my side of the spine. And it went through and she mule kicked. And I think I can see some blood right here on the ground. Obviously I can see my arrow. There's a little bit of blood on it. But I'm gonna climb down real quick and check. I'm not 100% certain on that shot. It was straight down, and I just checked the arrow, and it looks like muscly blood. I mean, it doesn't really look like anything crazy. What I'm hoping is that it punched right through, just behind the spine, down through the center of the vitals, and out through the bottom. But there's a possibility that it may have just deflected right off from the top of the spine, or at least the top of the rib cage, and then out. There's a bunch of hair. I don't really see any blood right away. I'm gonna go take a quick walk of where she stopped, about 40 yards that way. I haven't really seen her since, but she didn't really look like she was in distress when she was over there. I'm gonna get down, go take a look to see if there was blood pooled up over there, and then we'll go from there. But I do not feel good about it. Well, I found blood, but I don't know how good it is. I mean, there's a decent amount here. Tracks all the way up there. So, I don't know. We'll see. Well, the game plan is I'm going to back out. I'm going to go get permission from the neighboring property, but I found some good blood. So, it's a good sign, but I don't know. I still don't feel great about it, even though I found some pretty decent blood wherever, like literally right where I saw her standing last. So, gonna get out of here, gonna pack all my stuff up, go get permission from the neighboring property owner, and then start tracking, and hopefully we find her. Well, I brought my good buddy Fig with me. We're gonna go back in here, pick up the blood, and hopefully we'll find this deer tonight. I also got my dad coming. He's on the way for some extra assistance in case we need it, but hopefully we don't. So, let's see if we can find her.
See something?
Some more right there.
There's some.
Right there. I keep looking up because I feel like he might be just bedded down right here.
I think he's dead. He's right in front of you, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Just waiting it out. You see some up there? Or no?
Not this way.
That's what I see right here.
Some blood right there. Oh, there's some more up there.
Where you see some? There's some right there in that wave. See it?
Yeah. I got some more up here. It's not like a ton though.
Definitely spinning out. Still a trail though. What's wrong with this crap?
I have no clue. It looks like it opens up. It's up here.
You got way up there?
Yeah, I got it all the way up here.
Still?
Yeah, there's a decent spot right here.
Oh, nice. Nice spot.
I'm gonna start my track actually right here.
See something?
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting like little specks, but like it's still visible. Like there's a decent amount.
Yeah, it's every few steps. Looks like it's popping.
So, update, we found a good cough right here. But then straight downhill, you can't really see it on camera, but we have two eyes looking right at us. And me and Fig are nervous that that might be her. So we're kind of debating whether to try and just inch our way a little bit forward to see if we can find a bed, because when we were coming into this thick stuff, we jumped a deer and it blew, but we're not 100% certain it's her. So we're kind of in a little bit of a debacle. I feel like most people would back out right now, but I'm also impatient, and I want to, if I back out of here, I want to know that she's gonna die. So I don't know, we're gonna give it another second or two and then make our decision. So me and Fig are pretty sure that that was her that we jumped out of the bed, and I got a little greedy and I wanted to jump ahead and try and see if I can't find more blood, but she jumped out of her bed again. So we've decided that we're for sure gonna back out, probably gonna give it another hour or two, and then maybe try and dive in here. We believe that she is gonna die tonight. It's just a matter of when, and it's not cold enough to leave her lay overnight. So we're gonna give it a little bit. It's gonna be a long night, but hopefully we can find her tonight. Change of plans. Fig had to run home, put his kid to bed, which I appreciate him coming out for the little time that he did, just to at least get the trail going and get some markers for last blood. I got my dad and my friend Paul out here with me, and Paul thinks that that's a dead deer for sure, so looks like we're just gonna dive right in and try and find this deer. Hopefully she's laid up down at the bottom of this ravine, so let's get after it. So it's the next morning, and last night we tracked the deer, right? So me and Fig tracked that deer to a logging road, and then obviously we jumped it, and then we backed out. Last night, whenever my dad and my other buddy Paul came, we picked that track back up, crossed the road, we had good blood, but then all of a sudden, nothing. And we pretty much grid searched, you know, cutting hillsides to try and get a track or something, and nothing. So today I'm gonna go back out there and hopefully glass down into the bottoms, see if I can't see her, or the opposite hillsides. But I have a feeling that the chances are slim of finding this deer, but I'm gonna do my due diligence to try and recover this deer as best as possible, obviously, because I believe she is fatally hit, and everybody else seems to agree that she's been fatally hit, so I just don't want her to go to waste. I mean, I'm sure, you know, the coyotes and everything will eat her, but I want to eat her. I got permission from the neighboring property to go on and look at everything like that, so I'm actually able to drive back to exactly where we last found blood, which is nice. Just gonna put on a lot of miles today to try and find this deer. So I'll let you guys know when we get there. Well, we're back in the woods walking around. I think the game plan now is I'm gonna go down in this ravine and basically walk this ravine all the way to the bottom. Unfortunately, I ran into another hunter that was on the neighboring property. He's a real good guy. It's kind of why I waited a little bit later in the day, because I figured he was probably going to be in here. But super cool guy, super helpful, wanted to see where the blood was and everything. And he's had experience where most of his deer that he shoots will run down into this super steep ravine and kind of die there in the bottom. So shout out to that dude. He was super awesome, super helpful, super nice to me. You know, he understands how it goes, and gave me his number and to let him know if I'm ever in here and I got a deer that ran his way or whatever. So it was nice to, you know, have another dude that I've never met before completely understand my situation and you know, all for me coming around and stomping through here to try and find my deer. Even though it was a doe, he was still, you know, super cool about it. So, but I'm gonna get to walking. I probably plan on putting in a couple miles today to try and go and find this deer all the way down in the bottom. He said that ravine is super nasty and steep and just rough terrain down there, but I want him to go in there and
and try and find what I can find. So just get some peace of mind. I don't think the meat is gonna be worth anything now, just because, I mean, last night it got down to about 45 degrees, and now today it's about 60, and it's about 11 o'clock right now. So that kind of sucks, but I'm more or less just doing it for a peace of mind, knowing that that deer died. And yeah, just sucks. I mean, these are the realities of bow hunting. You're not gonna get the perfect kills every single time. So that's the way she goes, I guess. Get this one under the belt, move on, learn from my mistakes, and just keep going. But there's still a chance I'll find her. Just not very high, that's all. Well, after hours and hours of searching, and plenty of time has gone past, and plenty of distance has been covered, and I've looked everywhere I could look without blood of where I think that deer would go, or just that off chance the deer decided to go this one random way. I've come up empty-handed. And anyone that bow hunts has gone through this. And it sucks. And you feel bad. You feel bad that, I mean, I believe that deer is dead. I just don't know where. Especially with jumping it, it probably could be, you know, a mile away. And with that kind of distance and the terrain that I'm hunting, it's just almost impossible to find it. And I thought about calling a blood tracking dog, but I mean, the meat's bad. The only thing that I really gain out of it is knowing the deer's dead, for sure. But, I mean, I believe the deer's probably dead. It's just a shame that I gotta let the meat go to waste. And that animal, I took that animal's life and didn't get something out of it. As in meat to feed ourselves and, you know, enjoy the deer. So this one, oh, look at that, I got a tick on me, even though I sprayed myself. So it just sucks that it's come to this, but I mean, it's part of hunting. You gotta move on, learn from your mistakes, and try again. So we're gearing up, getting ready to go up north for rutcation, and hopefully we can get one on the ground up there. I mean, if anybody's listening to this, the one piece of advice I can honestly tell you is, if you're not 100% sure on that shot and you did not watch that deer go down, back out. I mean, I would say getting down, looking at your arrow, and maybe finding first blood would be okay, but anything further than that, just back out. Let it lay, give it a good while, almost 5-6 hours, and then go in and start looking, because that is probably the biggest mistake that we made today, or last night, was we only waited 2 hours. And I thought, based off of the first blood that we found, the big old piles of blood, that, you know, that it was a good hit and that deer would have been dead. But that was not the case. So we were really, as soon as we found first blood, I should have just backed out, gave it a couple hours, even till the next morning, and I bet you I probably would have found that deer 100 yards away. But that wasn't the case. We messed up. We made some mistakes. Nobody's perfect. And I will take this mistake and greatly learn from it. And that the next time this happens, I will not make the same mistake and will not let that deer get away. So that's it. Next time you'll see us, we'll be up on rutcation. We're leaving Friday, so see you guys on the next one.